yes, we even in 2008, I mean, we've spent the money correctly. I don't think there were any issues around there, except that there was less monies that were put into the 2008 team preparation, and largely in the 2012 period, we've invested a huge amount of money in the athletes through our flagship program, the OPEX program. So definitely there's a huge amount that has been invested in those athletes. I think from that perspective, we definitely, our president has moved the 12 by 12 medals for 2012, and that's what we've been punting as a vision.
We've seen that the Basketball Federation has gone into administration. What is the financial health like of the different sports federations that we've seen?
Well, I think, it's ongoing. Our processes around that, it's ongoing. So we're doing a lot of governance around national federations. And again, there is a committee that is actually looking at that. Obviously, when we come back from the Olympic Games, we'll be reviewing a lot of our strategies and looking at how national federations are functioning. And again, there as well, we have a whole process in terms of how they should be established in the 9 provinces, in the 52 districts. So all of those issues would be addressed when we return from the Games.
All right, and I mean, if we narrow it down then a little bit further and we say the cost then of taking a single athlete who's obviously participating in an individual sport, what are the costs associated with that?
Well, let's put it this way. In terms of the Olympic Games, your biggest cost is essentially the flying the athletes to the Games. Having said that, the preparation has already been done with those athletes. In London, the local organizing committee would basically be looking at the issues around meals in the athletes' village. The accommodation is taken care of. The internal transport is taken care of for the athletes. So largely, the costs are down. However, we incur other costs in terms of taking guests, taking sponsors across, taking stakeholders that we would want to be part of the Games. So those costs we incur in terms of securing accommodation and the travel as well in respect of those stakeholders.
What happens then for a team that does not get sufficient sponsorship for the Olympics, and does that then mean that the bill then is footed by the government or by SASCOC?
I think there's 2 distinct issues. One is the preparation of the team, and that's where the hockey issue comes around. And we've been actually helping hockey in terms of preparing those teams. Safe to say that the hockey sponsorship is basically the hockey brand, and they're allowed to actually go out and look for sponsors. But once the team is selected as the Olympic team, that's where the sponsors' rights basically fall away, and the rights of SASCOC sponsors take precedence.
We had a bid where Durban wanted to then host the Olympics, and that was unsuccessful. But a lot of questions have been asked with regards to, is this effective? Would it have helped South Africa in any way? And the pertinent question is, how much would it have cost?
I think, for any country to host the Olympic Games, it's a great event. You'd want to host it. You would want your nation to get behind it. For us, we were probably disappointed that we didn't get the support of government to host it. But be that as it may, our social needs are far greater compared to the rest of the world. The cost of the Olympic Games in terms of the operations would have cost us approximately $2 billion US, barring the infrastructure. The infrastructure could have been in excess of about $5 billion US. But again, those are the hardcore costs, and there would be some contribution from the IOC. In terms of the operations of the Games.
Is Team South Africa ready to head off to London and get those supposed 12 medals?
We're pretty much confident. Like I say, we've invested in the athletes. We were at President Zuma's farewell yesterday, and he's basically indicated to the athletes, you are now warriors and you need to go and fight competitively in the London Games. So we're pretty much confident. Our president is very confident. And hopefully our athletes will deliver at the London Games.